All right. We're gonna try this again, and hopefully this doesn't crash. Hi, I am. This is BeerThralls presents Beer Protocol. I'm James. I am drinking, for Pete's sake. It is a Imperial Chocolate Porter, Peanut Butter Porter from Dewclaw.
That sounds amazing.
Mm. It's very dark chocolatey taste, but very little peanut butter.
You're also talking to a man who has to drink beer made out of sorghum. So
That is true. Jake, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Computer Crasher, the Program Destroyer. Longboard Island Lager by Kona as I show it off and then drink from it some more. I actually like Kona a lot, and Longboard is pretty good.
Hopefully, it's not going to freeze OBS again. And
The last
crash
time I took a
everything.
drink out of it, it crashed our streaming program.
All right, it's
the
your
beer is just too good.
And finally,
Matt. It's your turn
Hi,
to
I'm
crash
Matt.
it.
I'm drinking vodka tonic because I'm playing the kill my cupboard before I move game.
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
a fun game. Good luck.
John.
Cheers.
Tink.
Clink.
To another day of crises. So we come to you now on the other end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale.
Oh, so good.
No, it's good times. It's a fun show. I worked myself up a little bit yesterday watching it, and then I think I watched about 4 different versions of the Portals scene from Endgame.
Oh yeah.
And now we're going to talk about someone who wasn't in any of that. Deadpool,
He was doing other things.
the merc with a mouth. I promise you, the next Deadpool movie is going to have a scene where they edit him into that.
It's going to be
Like
no. It's just going to be a desolated field of just destroyed everything. He's going to show up in the white costume and just be like, "Okay, I'm here. Shit, I missed it."
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the skull of Thanos laying on the ground.
Just dust everywhere.
All right, Deadpool, real name Wade Wilson, alias the Merc with a Mouth. He who is full of anime memes and fourth wall breakage.
And unicorns.
And unicorns. Let's talk about Deadpool. So, looking at his stat block, which is almost irrelevant for Deadpool because it's Deadpool, he has 4 stamina, which is a little squishy.
That's
Medium
squishy.
movement, size 2, threat 3. So for a 3-threat character to bring up our sliding scale of nonsense, he's going to probably have 1 role on the table, and he's going to probably be pretty okay at that job.
Hey, Jake,
But he is not going to be
What do you think that one role is going to be?
annoying.
Not dying.
So, looking at his attacks, Deadpool's one of those rare characters with 3 attacks.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has defenses.
Thank you.
Physical 3, energy 3, mystic 4, because he's a crazy. I almost said a crazy cracker, but that's terrible. Edit that out.
No one wants to be in his head.
So, looking at just his basic stat block, Deadpool has okay defenses for a threat 3 character. And he's a little squishy in health. We'll see if that is relevant as we go on. Foreshadowing. Also, I don't know, maybe you guys can edit this out later too, but does my hair look redder in this light? I feel like I am achieving
You are extra
like
gingery.
russet.
Hey Jake, when have I ever edited anything out?
Like russet.
You are supremely gingery right now, yes.
I ain't editing shit.
Oh, Deadpool's first attack, a builder attack, is stab, range 2, 5 dice for damage, and because it costs 0. 5 dice for damage is always solid middle of the road number. It means he'll actually probably do some damage with it and actually build up some power. He has another attack that's cost 0, bang, range 4, 4 dice on attack, light fisted, but it is range 4.
I
And
love
it
the
costs
wall
0.
of text. The wall of
The
text.
biggest wall of text, I think, of any attack in the game. Bang. If you get what looks like a hit and a wild, you get bang bang. After this attack is resolved, you may make another bang attack. This additional attack must target the original target character, and this can only be triggered by the first bang attack each action. Then, if you somehow get a
hit and 2 wilds.
Hit and 2 wilds, thank you. You get bang, bang, bang. After this attack is resolved, this character may make another bang attack. Same thing as to target the same character. This can only be triggered by an attack granted by the bang, bang special rule. So here is the sequence for bang. Gun. Bang. You got the specials to activate Bang Bang. You cannot activate both Bang Bang and Bang 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 off of the first one. You have to go make the second one, Bang Bang. And then you get the dice to trigger Bang Bang Bang. You cannot trigger another Bang Bang. You can only trigger one Bang Bang Bang.
So it's basically it's a building attack. It's pulling the trigger 3 times possibly.
Now, noted, this does
No,
not generate
4
any power.
times, isn't it?
Bang 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 is 2 shots. Bang 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 is 3.
And
Right.
then
The
after
most
this attack is resolved, this character may make another bang attack. So you could do bang again, you just can't trigger it 4th time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right.
the third attack is the one granted by the Bang 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 rule.
Yeah.
It goes bang.
1, 2, 3. No,
Yeah.
you can make a 4th one.
No, bang 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 is the
No.
is the third attack, and that's it. You can't trigger anything off of bang bang bang.
But it says after this attack is resolved, this character may make another bang
So,
attack.
let me try it again. Shoot bang. Triggers bang bang.
Yes.
Shoot bang bang. Triggers bang bang bang. Nothing more can be triggered on the third shot.
I don't understand.
I'll
Can you
explain.
explain why? Okay.
Yes. So the
Because
words.
that
the wording
wall of
is
text you're reading can only be triggered on the second shot,
Right.
not the third. The third shot can't trigger anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
I misunderstood it. We got it now.
All right, and then you
A wall
have
of text.
another attack that he has.
This is his spender. Duodenum poke.
He pokes you in the butt.
I'm pretty sure he poked in the butt. Range 2, 6 dice on attack. Cost 3, relatively cheap. If this attack deals damage, after this attack is resolved, the target character gains the bleed and slow special conditions. Okay, so
Sorry, just the
Bang.
fact that stupid just attack name, and then it's just like you get bleeding slow.
deal with it.
Well, because
So-
he's going like this to your butt with a knife.
Looking at this ridiculous wall of attacks, a few things come to mind. One, they're all physical, which means that Deadpool is limited to the most common attack type in the game, which means he's likely going up against the highest defenses on average. That's kind of the way it plays out. So that means there's going to be probably good defenses for a lot of characters against this attack. So Deadpool might struggle, especially with Bang. It's very funny. And I think in their certain compositions, it could be really interesting. Bang is likely going to be a pretty light touch, but it is range 4, meaning, that you can contest objectives with it. You can move and shoot on a lot of turns. You are not nearly as limited as his other range 2 attacks would suggest.
I mean,
and 4 dice spikes all the time.
him being thrown into groups that can change the damage type. This
So
can
just
become
defenders. That's literally the only group that does that.
At the moment, yes, just defenders. This could become very powerful. So being able to have a bunch, either a range and a melee, so a range 2 and a range 4 attack on a character for 0 cost is still extremely powerful.
It's good. And I think what's really cool about Bang, 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 Bang is if you somehow are the devil himself and actually get all of them consistently. In this game, what I find to be kind of more effective, if you're a little lucky, it's not so much the giant hammer attack, the 13 dice. I have used 3 different characters' abilities to set up this one attack that'll drop Hulk in one shot. It's more death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Tends to be what's more effective in this game, where you just roll as many different instances of dice as you can. And instead of trying to use a bunch of abilities to polish one glorious turd into damage, you just throw a bunch of turds. And there's going to be a diamond in one of them.
Are you using the shotgun of turds theory that's going to work?
So I think what that means is for Deadpool is he almost more than anyone else potentially is a shotgun of turds. He can in a single action, he can throw down as many attacks as any other model in the game. And we're talking like Angela just took someone down, knocked them down, and then I don't think she can trigger a second angelic assassin. But that kind of shenanigans. Or
Yeah.
you have stuff like Proxima Midnight's husband, the one with the spear.
Why are you doing this to me?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corvus Blade.
That one.
Corvus Blade.
Corvus Blade. I don't remember his cards off the top of my head, but he also has a shenanigan that lets him jump around and make more attacks.
Yes.
Yes.
And Deadpool is just like, maybe I'll roll dice good. I don't know. Bang, 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 bang.
I mean, if you throw him, the thing is if you throw him into say like Guardians and you give him like
That's a lot of work for rerolls.
it's a lot of work for rerolls.
Why not throw him into the affiliation he's already a part of, X-Force, which gives him a guaranteed reroll at every attack?
Or that.
Because we haven't talked about that yet. So
Let's be fair. Deadpool's actual affiliation he's listed in helps him take the most advantage of this attack already.
it does.
It's going to be kind of difficult to find another affiliation that is as good as his own if you're trying to leverage multiple knives.
Okay, if you look at like Cabal, I don't think that he would benefit Cabal because most of his powers don't actually have power to have a cost associated with them. They're just all free. The
True,
first
but
one,
there are. Sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but what I will point out real quick, because you are right, at least looking at this side of the card, he only has 2 abilities that cost any power to use. They both cost 3. A little expensive to do every turn consistently, but not that expensive. What is useful is with Cabal's affiliation to gain a power every time he damages someone, is he can build power really quickly, which can be useful for tactic cards.
yeah.
So I would say Deadpool is probably Cabal players are at least giving him the side eye as someone that they can play med packs, could have played Hired Muscle now, but can't now that it's on the ban list. Shocking.
What is the surprise?
You mean this one card that the entire meta was trying to plan for when, not if, but when your opponent played it, made its way to the ban list?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
So now that
I'm gonna get
you've
flayed for that.
completely just blew up my segue. Yeah, in Cabal he could like get some extra power off these plinking shots with bang bang, and used to spend on like his only power that he has on his healthy side, which is Merc with a Mouth. See how I segued into that? Jake,
Am I supposed to? Oh, okay.
Jake
Work with a mouth. For 3 power, choose an enemy character within range 3 of this character. It loses 2 power. A character may be affected by this superpower only once per round. This is kind of interesting because you're giving up 3 power. Granted, you're giving up 3 power in a character that at least doesn't really have a lot of use for it. To take away 2 power from someone else, this could potentially be really big swing.
That's actually, I think that's like really good if you're targeting, say, something like Red Skull or Okoye, who has the I can just take your attack from you, or anything that has a reactive. Just spend 2 power to do this reactive to it. Doing this first and then doing your attack is you're basically robbing them of that.
Yeah, bleeding other characters of 2 power is really effective against Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
It's really effective against Thanos.
Yep.
It's a good ability, and it's a neat utility trick. Then I know karate. This character may re-roll 1 die in his attack and defense rolls. That's actually just straight up good.
That's just good. Yeah.
Attack and defense, not dodge, so still you can throw things at him. But Deadpool has a pretty decent pool of defense dice for most damage types.
And he's got a pretty
Drop the egg.
He's actually got a pretty good like the stab and like his physical attacks on the melee range. That's still pretty good. 6 dice or 5 dice extra reroll.
No, and again, if you're taking him in his own affiliation, he's currently a member of X-Force. He has another free reroll on attack, which means that bang into bang bang into bang 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 is actually quickly becoming not that rare.
Yeah.
If you have 2 rerolls on each attack, because then you can take blanks or even a successful hit if it's not the side you want and just keep going. I think it really helps that both bang and bang 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 want at least 1 hit on resolved instead of just all specials or wilds.
All right, so let's talk about unicorns, rainbows, and sugar plums dancing through my head.
It's cool. This character cannot be pushed or advanced by effects from mystic attacks or enemy superpowers. The enemy superpowers is the really big part here. So this makes Deadpool immune to a lot of control effects, including the very popular Enchantress. It also shuts down Loki's manipulation ability. It's not going to be necessarily everything because it's only pushed or advanced. Weirdly enough, it will prevent Deadpool from being manipulated by the Web Warriors and their, you know, chemical webbing.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like you can be pushed from physical attacks, energy attacks, but if you try to push him using mystical attacks, he's like, no, I'm good. I can't. You're not gonna touch
Well,
me.
so the theming of the mystical attacks is very often like, oh, I'm manipulating you or
Yeah,
giving
mind
you
control.
illusions.
Can't
Yeah.
control his mind.
Yeah, Deadpool can't
He
be illusionated against.
he can't control his own mind.
Uh, but I think it also is neat that a lot of like Web Warriors pushing is based on their superpowers, using things like web line. Like they have impact webbing as ranged attacks on a couple of them,
Hmm.
but that kind of shuts down the Web Warriors. It will not stop tactic cards. So things like Carnage's very fancy, very new. I will murder a bunch of people with tactic card pulls and then shred you in close range will not be stopped by this. But this is still potentially a really solid counterplay against a couple of very good control pieces. So hey, Deadpool has definitely got a niche for that.
So, he also has healing factor 2
Healing Factor 2 is interesting. It's thematic, it's
on a
cool,
on a 4 on a 4 health character.
but he's got 4 health.
Well,
There's
I mean, it makes sense. It's this balance. Otherwise, you
yeah,
have to be so much higher. Plus, now you have to do the big "fuck you" attack instead of
or or
kill
you
death
have
for a thousand cuts
or you have a character use both of his actions to kill Deadpool.
Yeah.
for that.
I I
Um,
I would have loved to have
it's
it
good.
thematically as like healing factor 4 where it's like if you don't kill him outright or flip him outright, he just immediately heals back to full.
Now that's Carnage.
that
That's
that
Carnage's niche.
yeah. So
Okay,
if you we're gonna look on his injured side, which is completely different from his
I was gonna say
non-injured side.
Holy shit!
Deadpool has one of the most drastic changes between his injured and healthy side. We really do have to talk about this
Oh
separately.
God.
Okay, so on his injured side,
Go right. No,
Deadpool
no. Go
goes.
go right to the top because
Oh, I know. I'm going there. Trust me.
uh,
Deadpool gets 6 stamina instead of 4, and otherwise his stats are the same. Now, 6 stamina with healing factor 2 and a 3-3-4 defense line is actually pretty sturdy.
that's kind of scary actually.
Like that is genuine. Like that's almost Wolverine sturdy. I'd have to check, but I think like Wolverine has a higher physical defense.
Mhm.
His stab and his bang attacks are unchanged, but instead of Duodenum Poke, now we have a new Spender attack, Maximum Effort, which I applaud them taking the nod from. I don't know if Maximum Effort is a line from the comics, but
It's a
it's
line
very
from the
much.
comics.
Well, it's also very much like a Ryan Reynolds thing. Like
Yeah,
I feel like the way he delivers that line is almost iconic of the Daredevil of the Deadpool films at
He,
this point.
he does say it in the movies too.
Yeah.
he does.
All right. So range 2, 7 dice, cost 4. So this is one more die of damage, otherwise same range, damage type, and one more cost, but has a new ability. As a wild, Dance Party.
This is
After the attack
insane.
is resolved, this character may move short. After its advance, each character within range 2 of this character suffers 1 damage. This character gains 1 power for each damage dealt this way.
Each
That's very cool.
each character.
Yes. Oh no, this character gains 1 power for each damage dealt this
No,
way.
no.
Including himself.
It doesn't say enemy characters. It says each character within 2.
Oh, each character within 2. Thank you for the clarification. So what does this mean? If Deadpool has 4 power at the start of his turn, like I don't know, because he just flipped, he immediately goes into maximum effort with all of his rerolls from his own natural ability plus potentially X Force. There's a decent chance he'll get the 1 wild he needs to do Dance Party. And if there's a clump of people, say, around an extract point, or if there's just
Damage shelters.
already a melee fracas going, Deadpool will just swing in, damage everybody, and immediately Dance Party again.
Yeah,
Or sorry, and immediately do another maximum effort.
yeah.
Like that's
So even if
even
you even okay,
Does
so
he?
all you really technically need is to do on 7 dice do 3 damage and get a wild because you can move short and
well,
still be within 2 inches of the person you just attacked, damage it again for 1 point automatically, And
So,
then
James, I'm sorry. The damage you do from the actual attack does not generate energy.
you are
You only
correct. You are correct.
you only generate energy from Dance Party.
I am an idiot. You're correct.
Now, do you damage yourself with Dance Party? Because aren't you within 2 of yourself?
Generally, no.
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
Because then you would automatically take 1 point of damage.
And gain another
No,
power.
it's within 2 of this character, so I don't think you do
Right.
2 within yourself.
Okay.
Like the only thing I can think of, like last week we talked about Bob, Agent of Hydra, who has his explosion radius for his rocket launcher, but that says within 2 of the target. It
Mhm.
does not include the target for another free 2.
Yeah.
So generally, when you're measuring something within a certain point, if it's a character, the thing you're measuring from is not included.
Okay. Just curious.
Okay. Looking at the rest of his card, he has a bunch of passive abilities, so he still only has 2 things he himself can spend on,
Mhm.
taking away other people's power with Merc of the Mouth, and now spending on maximum effort. So there's a decent chance once Deadpool flips, he's going to be channeling all of his energy to do maximum effort dance parties
Correct.
and just bouncing around the board, shredding people with knives. Then he does get a new passive called All Right, Now It's Serious. This character always counts as healthy instead of injured for the purpose of contesting objectives, playing team tactics, and special rules. This rule on its own is a reason to take Deadpool.
We are so like slotting him into Criminal Syndicate.
Now, granted, Criminal Syndicate I think could make a really valid point that now that they have someone who always counts as healthy for contesting objectives, very strong from them, Criminal Syndicate could also spend Deadpool's 3 threat on just other sturdier characters who are just not going to be injured in the first place.
Yeah, I can bring Deadpool.
So yes, Criminal Syndicate likes this rule a lot. I think most people like this rule a lot. This is just a generically good thing. Again, kind of like Deadpool's free rerolls on attack and defense from I Know Karate. It's just good.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't necessarily have a specific situation where it applies more than others. It's just a good rule. And it makes sense for Deadpool. He is genuinely hard to put down.
I mean,
Okay.
he's also got the healing factor too, and the unicorns, rainbows, sugar plum dancing throughout my head.
Now that we've seen him in his totality, the rules on Deadpool's card, some of like the synergies I'm seeing is we already know he's going to be X-Force, which gives him an extra reroll on attack.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're looking for what is Deadpool's role as a 3 threat character, what is the thing he is supposed to do and do well? I think he's a solid mid-tier offensive piece with some solid anti-control to keep him from being manipulated across the board and to counteract your opponent's plans as like a backup role. He doesn't hit super hard, but he can hit a lot, which almost counts for more, especially given his number of rerolls. I think he's going to hit consistently from a mixed range perspective. So
I think that he's going to be. He's definitely an offensive character in more than one way. I can see him being an objective runner, especially if objective runner or a objective sniper, where you're like, haha, I dazed him. He flips, still counts as healthy. I think he's going to be very good at even on his injured side, like grabbing objective, maybe running back, because with that much energy, he could do maximum effort and then run short backwards with the objective if he has to.
Can I ask a clarification question?
Yeah.
You had said earlier, you're like, okay, you take him down, haha, I'm still healthy. Was there a particular context? Because when a character is dazed, they're still out for scoring purposes for the rest of that round.
Yes, they are out for scoring purposes for that round, but he is able to still control a point as opposed to now, oh, this person's healthy, this person is injured, healthy over injured.
Yes. Okay. Just wanted to get clarification
yes.
on what we were trying to recommend with that.
It's
Deadpool
also
wins ties.
Deadpool
Now, granted,
wins ties.
two injured people is still better than one healthy. It only matters if the numbers are the same.
Yeah. He is definitely going to be a person I think I'm going to take if there is any type of clumping up missions. Gamma Shelters is always one that you're going to see on the table. It clubs up people very nicely. And he's definitely going to do damage. Now, will he do more damage than any other 3-point character?
Yeah, I guess if we're comparing to like what are our middle tier, like I think one of my fun exercises for an offensive 3-threat character, is this better, equivalent, or worse than taking Valkyrie? Valkyrie was like the golden standard for a 3-threat offensive character. She had a charge, she could throw things, and she hit pretty hard, and she had a way to get rerolls to boost her damage higher. Her disadvantages that have kind of been overcome over time is she was only really range 2.
Right.
So she needed that charge to close the distance and keep up with people.
I mean,
Yeah, Valkyrie without charge is nowhere near as good.
Zemo's also a 3, I believe.
Right.
Is
So
he better than
I'd
Zemo?
argue. I would say better than Zemo. Zemo really shines when he can give his aura of rerolls to people. He is a solid attacker on his own that can give out bleed. I think he may just be a little overcome by all of the other specialness Deadpool brings, of being counting as healthy for breaking scoring ties and for tactics cards. He counts he cannot be manipulated through some enemy superpowers for pushing or advancing characters. So you can kind of keep him where you are. And he can also just make so many attacks if you get your bang triggers. Like if you can get within 3 of a stealth character and just stay there and just bang, 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 bang a stealth character down, that Deadpool might just be the most efficient. Because stealth characters typically don't have super high defenses and okay stamina. Like there's no Thor running around with stealth.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I think that he becomes very situational. Now, he does have the chimichanga.
Yes. So before we move on to his tactics cards, because Deadpool comes with 3 tactics cards, which are all kind of relevant. So we're going to talk about those as well. Do we have any closing thoughts? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Deadpool's healing factor on his injured side does make him fairly sturdy.
Makes him sturdy, yeah.
So I don't know. Like I kind of want to give the nod to Deadpool over Valkyrie and Zemo without any outside factors. He doesn't have a charge, so he'll have to work to get to melee to use his best attacks. But he also has a consistently, what I'm guessing might be a consistently good ranged attack. Yeah. So he doesn't necessarily need the charged.
Yeah. I mean, him getting there, he still has his range attack to kind of like offset the medium. But, I mean, he's still a pretty good character to see if you can slip him into your list. Like, see how he would kind of work out. So, his first tactic card.
So, Deadpool has 2 unique tactic cards just for him, and then 1 for the X-Force that come with him. It's really funny to me, because I remember checking this last time we talked, is that Deadpool's box comes with cards. Sorry, Deadpool's box comes with Deadpool and Bob, Agent of Hydra.
The cards.
But none of the tactics cards can be used by Bob.
That's true.
Unless Bob, yeah, it's kind of funny.
And it also comes with a chimichanga truck.
Is that all in one box?
It's all in one box.
Oh, I thought the truck was separate. Yeah, it's very much this is the Deadpool box, and Bob is funny.
Yeah.
Okay, chimichangas. Unaffiliated, but it has to be used by Deadpool. Deadpool can spend 1 power to play this card. Deadpool will have 1 power almost constantly. Add a chimichanga objective token to the game. Deadpool's holding it. At the end of a character's activation, if it's holding the chimichanga, it gains 1 power and can remove 1 damage or 1 special condition. Any character can use the following interact to pick up the chimichanga token. This is both funny and good. Deadpool having passive power generation and more healing is really good, as it turns out, because he already has a solid amount of healing as is. It's really good. I would not use this on Deadpool's healthy side. I would wait until he's been dazed and then play chimichangas.
I'll tell you why you would, but go ahead.
For the simple reason that if your opponent gets lucky with an attack and you drop the chimichanga, and now you have to go hunt and brace for it,
It's an objective token, right?
yes, it can be picked up.
So, what I don't know. We'll call them. What syndicate can grab objective tokens from other people?
None of them.
Yeah, you can
So-
basically pass off.
So
In
real quick,
syndicate,
James, you need to clarify friendly or enemy because no one can take enemy objective tokens.
no one can take any objective tokens
except for
except for
Enchantress.
Enchantress. He can pop Chimichanga and give it to one of your beefier frontline characters because he just spends the power to pass it off. So
Yep, it's good.
It's really good if you have a really beefy character you want to survive and get a little extra power because we know Criminal Syndicate doesn't have a lot of good power generators. So having that extra power and just getting a little extra heal by passing this off to somebody is really good in Criminal Syndicate. It's also good for it's going to be weird to pop at that time, but like Hulk, She-Hulk, MODOK, any of your bigger characters that you want to keep around, having that on them is actually pretty dang good.
Yep, it's good. Don't let your opponent get it.
Now, do you bring Deadpool just for that?
Or
That's-
do you take the tactic card all the time? Like it is
Yeah.
very good. Is it better than Medpack? Is it better than Medpack's kind
It's-
of an extreme
it's
example.
definitely better than Medpack, I think.
Depends.
But-
It really does depend because if you need the large stack of healing, this is too slow to keep someone from being flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Medpack will do that.
But
Okay.
yeah,
His second Deadpool unique card has a lot going on. Yoink. During Deadpool's activation, he may spend 2 power to play this card, and then you can select one of 4 different effects.
4 options.
So this is like 4 small tactic cards in one. So we'll go over them real quick, and they all depend on who you have around you.
Yes.
If an allied cable is within range 2 of Deadpool, place Deadpool within 2 of his current position. That's okay. Place range 2 placement teleport that doesn't use an action.
Wait,
Pretty okay.
if there's a cable near you, you get to place yourself within 2 of yourself, not 2 of cable.
Within 2 of yourself.
That's so weird. Okay.
Yeah, because it says place Deadpool within range 2 of his current position. So I'm assuming his is referring to Deadpool because Deadpool was the last proper noun in that sentence.
Sounds.
English.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that I think a range 2 teleport might be the weakest of all of these. Almost feels like a constellation prize. If an allied domino is within range 2 of Deadpool, Deadpool may use the grenade bounce attack listed on her stat card once its activation without paying its power cost. So now you're going to make me go look up Domino, I'm realizing, so I can actually check this attack.
I wouldn't worry about it right now. We'll go over Domino when we get the cards for her because she is insane.
Too bad, I already have.
Okay.
It ignores its range 4 attack 4, energy, gives him an energy attack, get dunked on Venom. It ignores line of sight, and they do not get cover. And it automatically gives them Incinerate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a wild, which again, Deadpool has 1 reroll on his own, and if you're taking Domino, odds are you might be in an X-Force affiliation. And if before damage is dealt, other enemies within range 2 suffer 1 damage. So it's a neat little AoE that ignores cover and will incinerate them, which is a great status buff, or a status debuff, I should say. And it costs Deadpool 2 energy and a tactic card, 2 power and a tactic card to do it if you brought Domino. Not bad. Third option, if an allied Wolverine is holding an objective token within 2 of Deadpool, place Wolverine's objective token on Deadpool. This does not allow you to exceed tactic limits. Now, this kind of goes back to your idea of having Deadpool as an objective runner.
Yeah.
Wolverine definitely is not an objective runner because he wants to be mauling people. He does not want to be running off the board.
Especially if he's about to flip. Like it's good to just have that something in your back pocket to say like, yeah, I can yank that from you.
Yep. And then finally, if an enemy, Bob, Agent of Hydra, is within 2 of Deadpool, you can take away his loaded tokens.
So let's be real. The last one's never going to be used.
That's if you're within 2 of Bob, just kill Bob.
Well, remember, Bob has his tricky, I'm not
Bob.
dead yet.
Yeah,
That-
Bob
that-
always comes back.
Yes, so that's
And then all your opponent has to do is activate him first and blow up Deadpool.
yeah.
I think it's more likely that your opponent, if you have Deadpool and Yoink, your opponent's going to fire that rocket launcher as soon as Deadpool gets anywhere near.
I wouldn't even probably worry about that one.
I think it's super cute. If for whatever reason, because of turn order shenanigans, if you happen to be near him, you can make him real sad. You're using a tactic card and a 3-point character to dunk on a 2-point character. It's funny.
Yeah.
Or he could use, hopefully use Grenade Blast and do more.
I mean,
Bob's got 3 health. Get him.
Bob still has his Hydra pistols, so that's still a valid person doing damage.
Mm-hmm. And the last card that comes with Deadpool's box is an X-Force card. Again, I really think Deadpool's going to be good at X-Force. I think Deadpool's got starring roles in Criminal Syndicate and Cabal with his other abilities, but I think he's going to be really good at X-Force. I could see him, there's a lot of good 3-threat damage-dealing characters at this point. I think, yeah, X-Force is going to reach for Deadpool, I think, more often than not. Okay, finally, pretty sneaky this. X-Force reactive during the power phase, so at the start of the round, any number of, and I'm assuming because it's during, you can choose to wait until after you've made your power for the turn. You can play this by having any number of allied X-Force characters spending 2 each. Enemy characters must be within range 2 of characters that spent power to target them with attacks. This round.
So basically,
Yep,
stealth.
super stealth.
So same thing Syndicate has, basically, as Criminal Syndicate.
Yep. It's also worth noting that this is not named stealth, so it is not ignored by abilities which ignore stealth.
Does it say, hold on, does it say X-Force members, or does it say allied characters?
It says X-Force characters.
Okay, so it's basically the same thing as Criminal Syndicate. So if you bring in a person who doesn't have the X-Force affiliation name on the card, then they're not able to spend the power.
Now, if you've got mostly an X-Force affiliation already, then I think this is almost a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's actually...
Because this is absolutely the kind of thing you just take, and then round 2, or as soon as you have some objectives you need to pull out, for your opponent to come to you, which, if I'm remembering the cards right, both Deadpool and Wolverine do more damage if you're close to them.
Mm-hmm.
And Cable's no slouch either.
So it's the same thing as Criminal Syndicate, and you'll be surprised. I've used the Criminal Syndicate one a couple of times. You'd be surprised how many people are just outside of 2 of you. It makes a lot of characters just neutralized. It's really good for objective runners and people sitting on points, because now they, especially for, say, Gamma Shelters, they now have to come to you, to your point, to try to attack you. So it's actually really good, and you find extremely useful ways of using it.
Yep. So I don't know if you're interested in X-Force. I think Deadpool is almost a no questions asked buy.
Now you bring them.
Both between his own abilities being, so unlike Bob, last week we were kind of torn on Bob with being really situationally useful, but funny. Deadpool, I think, is generically useful in a wide array of situations. He's going to be somewhat matchup dependent, where there's some of his abilities really matter. Like if your opponent doesn't have advancing or moving abilities, then his unicorn's power to ignore that doesn't matter.
Yep.
But when it does matter, I think it makes a really big deal, and is going to force your opponent to kind of work around Deadpool. And in all circumstances, Deadpool can always just take power from your opponents, which turns out a lot of characters this game really need.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's what I got on Deadpool. I'm excited.
Gonna be interesting, and it should be.
Yep. Between Domino, Deadpool, and Cable, I'm kind of tempted to start putting together an X-Force playlist and kind of mess with it on Tabletop Simulator and see what they do.
Yeah, I want to see how that works out. I might not. I'm as much as I want to get the character, and I'm going to get the character. I don't see him being played in my list. I'm still waiting for Black Cat and all my other characters to fill out my Spider Foes. So
Exactly. Let me look before I forget. Like, we'll probably talk about Cable in more detail. But I do want to check who is actually in X-Force.
have they updated the list on the websites?
So currently we have 5 figures listed for X-Force. Cable, Deadpool, Domino, Wolverine, and Sabretooth.
Was Sabretooth part of X Force?
I mean, originally at
Yeah.
some point,
He is now.
everyone in the X-Men comics has jumped sides at least once.
That is true.
So Sabretooth being there too is also kind of relevant because Sabretooth might be a little scary if you have to come to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sabretooth is nasty.
that's Deadpool. Interesting.
Come
That's
for the chimichangas, stay for the mercenary and the super stealth.
well, thank you for watching. Please leave some comments down below if we messed something up, or if you think that no, Deadpool is absolute crap and you can't take him. Just leave comments. We'll answer them. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye, game off.